You land in Lisbon, open your laptop, and find 3 clients waiting for urgent revisions. Your calendar is full. Your income still feels unstable. The 2 focused hours you planned become 12 scattered decisions. And somewhere between an airport lounge and a late-night message, you start wondering whether freedom was supposed to feel this exhausting. If that sounds familiar, your problem may not be lead generation. It may be capacity. Because unlimited availability is not the same as premium service, when you say yes to everything, clients can start expecting instant replies, flexible scope, and access to every remaining hour. Then travel changes, your internet fails, your energy drops, 2 urgent requests arrive at once. Suddenly, the business you built for mobility is controlling your mobility. So reverse the order. Before you market harder, find the amount of focused work your month can actually carry. Not your fantasy month, your real month. Open your calendar and include travel days, sleep, exercise, errands, recovery, sales conversations, proposals, invoicing, and the small administrative tasks that somehow multiply when you work for yourself. Imagine you have 160 potentially workable hours. That is not 160 hours of client delivery. Subtract 15 hours for business development, 15 for administration and communication, 10 for surprises, and 20 for recovery and personal flexibility. If you are changing locations, add a travel and setup buffer. Unreliable internet is not a character flaw, but it is an operating condition. Plan for it. That leaves 60 hours for focused delivery. Write that number down. If it stays in your head, every interesting prospect will feel like an emergency exception. And if 60 hours feels too high, lower it. A useful starting point is reserving roughly 50 to 60% of workable time for paid delivery, not because that percentage is sacred, but because quality needs room around it. Now, give that delivery number a shape a client can understand. Instead of selling random hours, create a small number of outcome-based engagements. A conversion copywriter might offer a 4-week landing page project, a strategy call, a customer research review, a revised page, 1 revision round, and a performance handoff. If that work takes 30 focused hours, a 60-hour month supports 2 active engagements, not 5 hopeful ones. A strong slot answers 5 questions before the project begins. What results are we working toward? What is included? When does each milestone happen? How will communication work? And what happens when the request changes? You might tell a prospect, I hold 2 conversion project slots each month. Projects run for 4 weeks. Communication happens in our shared workspace, and I respond within 2 business days. New requests are reviewed during our weekly check-in. That is not scarcity theater. There is no fake countdown, no claim that hundreds of people are waiting, and no dramatic warning that the price changes tonight. It is simply truthful availability connected to a defined result. Your price still has to be supported by your expertise, the difficulty of the problem, the business impact, and the responsibility you are taking on. Charge what you're worth, but make the value visible. Here is a useful pricing check. Can you name the outcome, the decisions you are responsible for, the risks your work reduces, and the evidence that you can do it well? If you cannot, the answer is not to decorate the offer with a premium price. Strengthen the offer first. Then look for projects where your judgment matters more than your availability. But a slot only helps if the right project fills it. Before outreach, use a short fit filter. Does this prospect have a problem you solve well? Is the outcome clear enough to scope? Is the decision maker involved? Does the timeline fit your calendar? Can the client provide the information and access you need? And is the budget appropriate for the expertise and responsibility involved? You do not need a 20-question application. A thoughtful conversation can reveal plenty. Then put your availability into ordinary language. I'm opening 1 project slot for a 4-week conversion sprint beginning in the second half of next month.
I'm a strong fit for teams that already have customer insights and need a clearer path from interest to action. If that matches your priority, I can send a brief outline of the process. Notice how calm that sounds. Serious clients are also protecting their time. Clear boundaries can make you easier to trust.
Picture Maya, a copywriter who moves between cities while working with small software companies. Before this system, she accepted 5 low-rate assignments each month. One client wanted email edits. Another needed a sales page. A third sent urgent requests through direct messages. On a travel day, Maya might answer a revision from an airport lounge, draft a subject line in the back of a rideshare, and promise 3 clients she would be online in an hour. Her revenue looked respectable on paper, but her attention was everywhere.
Maya audited her month and found she could sustainably protect about 55 delivery hours. She created 2 engagements, a 4-week homepage and messaging project, and a conversion email sequence with a defined research phase, draft schedule, and handoff. She added a contingency buffer between major milestones. Communication moved to scheduled check-ins and a shared project board. Same-day revisions were no longer part of the promise.
The result was not magic, and it was not a guarantee that every copywriter should serve exactly 2 clients. But Maya replaced 5 reactive assignments with 2 focused projects, wrote proposals faster, and traveled without carrying 5 unfinished conversations in her head. Her offer became easier to explain because the client was buying a structured business outcome, not a loose collection of writing tasks. Premium clients are not buying access to your exhaustion. They're buying judgment, reliability, and a meaningful result. Your boundaries also need a change rule. Travel disruptions happen. Clients miss approvals. Priorities shift. Decide in advance what happens next. One missed approval date might move a milestone by 2 business days. A new deliverable might receive a separate estimate. An internet outage might be covered by the contingency buffer you reserved before selling the slot. Flexibility does not mean absorbing every surprise. It means having a fair process for handling surprises. And here is the trap. You recover 10 hours, demand rises, and you sell all 10. That is not scaling. That is the old pattern wearing a new outfit. First, look for evidence that your process works. Clients reach the intended outcome, timelines are predictable, and handoffs are documented. Then, raise your rate if demand consistently exceeds your honest capacity. Standardize repeated tasks. Add a vetted collaborator only when the workflow is repeatable and quality can be reviewed. Build income that supports your lifestyle, not destroys your health. Your action this week takes 30 minutes. Spend 10 minutes calculating your real monthly capacity, including delivery, communication, sales, administration, recovery, travel, and contingency time. Spend 10 minutes turning delivery hours into 2 or 3 possible client slots. Give each one an outcome, scope, timeline, communication rhythm, and change role. Use the final 10 minutes to write your availability message and fit filter. Put that exercise on your calendar now. A plan that is not scheduled is usually just a pleasant idea. When you finish, you should know 3 things: how much work your real life can sustain, what a client can buy from you, and which prospects deserve a conversation. That is the foundation of a capacity-first pipeline. It protects your attention before the proposal is signed, communicates professionalism without pretending to be scarce, and gives your income room to become steadier. If you want deeper guidance, explore the Nomad high-income skills courses on premium positioning, client acquisition, proposal writing, and sustainable scaling. Choose the course that matches your biggest bottleneck, complete one lesson, and use it to rewrite your availability message this week. Your skills are your freedom currency. That's your high-income blueprint for today. Take one action this week and start seeing results.